So what if I told you that your favorite device is slowly cooking your brain and you don't even feel it happening? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the hidden dangers of EMFs, from your smartphone to your smartwatch to your Bluetooths. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can protect yourself, because studies are showing that this is much more dangerous than we ever thought possible. Hi, if you don't know me, my name's Adele, and welcome to Forever Young. You know, remember when they told us the smoking was actually not that bad for us? I mean, everybody was smoking. They were smoking in the movies, smoking in restaurants. We had the smoking section. Actually, it was kind of glamorous to smoke, believe it or not, back then. And secondhand smoke, no one ever talked about it. How about trans fats? For 50 and 60 years, we were told that they were actually not bad for us at all. And what about margarine? We should all eat margarine and get rid of that mean old nasty butter. And then we were told that a glass or two of wine a day, every day, was good for your heart. Well, studies have changed, and so has the science. You know, we were told that cell phones were basically pretty safe, not that bad for us. Well, the FCC did a study in 1996. There's no safety codes right now for the cell phone, no regulations. But the FCC did this study in 1996. This is a true study. You can look it up. I'll put the link down below. And they did it on a 220-pound man who was 6'2" for 6 minutes a day of cell phone use. Well, back then, cell phones were not that, not everybody had them. You pretty much had to be a VIP to have a cell phone, you have a really good job and, a pretty important person. Well, in 2025, we have 5G, on our way to 6G. And you know what? The average person spends over 10 hours a day in some form of EMFs, from your smartphone to your earbuds to your Bluetooths to your computer screens, chargers, microwaves, lights in your house, LED TVs, you name it, and baby monitors that are actually sitting very close to your baby's head. And how about little children with their video games? These are very dangerous, especially for children whose brains are developing. As a matter of fact, BioInitiative, which is a company that measures biological rate, they measure radiation and the standards for radiation. They did a study in 2012, and then they updated it in 2021 and I believe 22. And they have found an alarming increase in gliomas, which are malignant brain cancers. And did you know that 99.999% of people never even look at the little thing that comes with our cell phones, that gives us kind of these warnings? Yeah, they're kind of counting on we're not going to look at that. And how about when you get a new cell phone and it just says, agree, 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 agree. So we're all going to agree because we want to use our cell phones, but we don't know the dangers in these cell phones. There was another study in 2014, a study in medicine, and they did a study on 4 women, ages 21 to 39. And all these 4 women developed multifocal cancer in their breasts because they were carrying the phone in their bras, and they were actually the shape of the cell phone. And then Environmental Trust, they did a study also and found the same thing, and said that wherever you put your cell phone, either right beneath it, a tumor was developed. There were many, many studies. I think, let me check out some of them. Journal of Breast Cancer says excessive placement anywhere on the body, that you have to be very, very careful. And UC Berkeley did a multiple comprehensive study of all the studies and said that 60% increase in tumors, particularly in the brain. Now I have a story. My nephew used to be in the tech world, and he was on the cell phone all the time, on the computer all the time, very young. He'd been doing this for most of his young adult life, and he developed a brain cancer. And of course I heard about it very late, and I heard that a keto diet and being, eating very clean, taking antioxidants, I sent him the book on it. his wife was saying he's doing much better and not having so many symptoms. And we really thought that he was going to make it. But unfortunately, he finally passed away because it was just too much. It was too far gone. So it's just very important. So this is near and dear to my heart. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, we can take our cell phone. Now I'm filming on my cell phone, so I don't have another one to show you, but don't put it right up to your ear, your cell phone, you know. Try to speak on the speaker as much as you can. Keep it away from you when you're talking. Keep it on the speaker. Another thing that you can do is I ordered some air tubes. I got these on Amazon, and they really decrease the EMF. So when I'm at the gym and I'm on the elliptical machine or something, I just put these on. And what I like about these, and I'll put the link down below, is you put them in your ears, and the metal, the ear thing there is way far down here, and it has a little what do you call it, lever that you can actually make it higher or lower. And if you get a phone call, you can actually click in the middle and you can talk. You know, I see people in the stores with the earbuds in, and you think they're talking to you. They're just talking, shopping, you know, just talking to their friends. I go to the gym and the people have the earbuds in, you know, and they are sweating, and they're right by their brain, and they're there for hours. They keep them in there, whether they're listening to some kind of music or they're talking to their friends or whatever they're doing. This is very, very dangerous. Now me, I go and I take this out, and yeah, sometimes it gets tangled up, but you know what? It's worth it for your health. Now, you will most likely have to get a little adapter. If you have an iPhone or another type of phone, they're very inexpensive. I always keep these adapters with me. So you will have to get something like this so you can, you know, use that, because it most likely won't fit. I have an iPhone 14 and I needed to get these. These are really inexpensive. So that's one thing. Now, if you're looking at your phone, you can even, you know, if you're texting, is probably better. But if you're like me, you're going to need some glasses. These are from Bond Charge. I talk a lot about this because we're also getting that in our eyes, you know, those frequencies, and it's so bad for us. So these are from Bond Charge. These are computer glasses if you're on your computer for a long time. I have a link for a discount down below for these. I love Bond Charge because they're blue blockers. They come from Australia, which they're much stricter in Australia. You know, they did some tests on blue blockers, and all of them, not all of them, but most of them didn't block out hardly any blue light. This is the full spectrum of blue light, not just one frequency of blue light. So it's the full spectrum. They come in readers, and you can get them in prescription. So I love this. And also, and some insurances cover these. So you might want to check these out. They're really well made, and I use these on my computer all the time. Now, at night, I use these to keep out that LED light and all of this. I use the amber ones. These keep them out completely. If I'm starting to look at my computer at night or working, I put these on, and then by the time I go to bed, I'm very calm. There's no blue light. You can relax. Even in the middle of the night, if I get up, they say that one little speck of light can actually wake you up. So I will read with these. They also have the readers in them. These are fantastic. And like I said, I'll put the link down below. And they are from Bond Charge. So you'll like that. They come in a great thing. So those are some of the things you can do with your cell phone. And I hope you'll do it because it's very, very important. They also have little stickers you can put on them to take the EMFs off. Now I'm talking on my phone. I actually have a little sticker on mine too, and there's several different companies. Just look those up and see which one has the most science behind it. I even forgot which one I have because I've had it on my phone for so long. But that's another way that you can take down the EMFs, some of the ways. Now let's talk about smart watches, you know. There was a study in Notre Dame. Let me see, when was the study in Notre Dame? 2024, they did a study. And they found that there are forever chemicals in the bands in smartwatches, especially the high-end ones. Now, you see people with these smartwatches everywhere. They're wearing them all over. Now, what's forever chemicals, PFAS. That's because they stay in your system forever. They have this kind of a plastic, I think it's called Fluoromuster or something like that. And it's very, very durable. So it's water resistant. If you sweat, you know, it's great. And they're on most all high-end smartwatches. And they are putting forever chemicals. The studies were done showing that they were actually going through your skin. The Environmental Agency in 2024 did a test, and they go right into your bloodstream. And this little thin area of your skin, can you imagine wearing those all day? Some people wear them 14 hours, 12 hours a day. And they wear these, and it goes right in their skin. You know, forever chemicals, plastics, it's very, very bad. We're hearing all about microplastics. You know, if we don't start mitigating some of this, what are we going to do? Things are in our food. We've got to start doing something, but especially for this cell phone, EMFs, the radiation, you know, it's not good. So what can you do about that? Well, you can get a different band. You can get a nice cloth band or a silicone band. It's going to cut down the EMFs so much more. And you can, you know, they did tests on like, I think 22 of them, and all of them had really high PFAS, forever chemicals, because they sit in your body forever. And I see these people all over, you know, the health people doing all these healthy things. And then they're just walking around talking on the phone with it, or they're going to the gym, all these devices that we wear. I guess, you know, it's okay to wear them for a little while, you know, to check your sleep and things like that. I don't have any of that stuff. And I know they have some interesting devices that you can check things, you know, and I think that's good, you know, limited. But to wear all this stuff all the time, it just can't be healthy. Now, what can you do in your home? Okay. Well, your computers, you can get something called Iris. I got this a long time ago, and it takes the light down depending on what time of the day it is. And it was only like $15. I don't know what it is now. I'm not affiliated with any of this, but that's one thing you can do on your computer screen too. You can also dim your phone down a little bit too, or get some of these glasses when you're looking at that. In your home, you know, we're supposed to turn off our Wi-Fi and our routers and everything at night. Well, they have little switches that you can buy, and I have a picture of those switches. You can get them at Amazon. I'll leave the link down below. And what they do is you plug in your devices to that, and then you can just switch off the switch. And that's really great because that electricity is also coming out into your atmosphere, which is very, very unhealthy for you too. Never charge your phone in the same room that you're in at night. Don't charge your phone by your head. You know, put it in another room. So these are all some of the things that you can do to help yourself to stay healthy and take down this, because it is serious. People are getting liver cancer. They're getting hormone disruptions. And there's study after study showing this. And so we have to take it into our own hands. And also the children, keep the children off of these things for hours on end. It's so bad for them. And those baby monitors, don't forget, if you have grandchildren or children of your own that are, you know, small, those are very, very important things. So, and also another thing you can do is you can take if you're on a computer a lot and you're using a lot of these devices, or you're under all of this light, you know, from work or something, take glutathione. Is great for a good antioxidant, and extra vitamin C. This would be something that would be great for you too to do. And of course, I always stress eating a clean diet. You know, no processed foods. It'll change your life if you just start eating whole foods. You know, now they're coming out with restaurants that don't have seed oils. There's a new app that you can look up. It's hard to find, but those are all very important things to keep us healthy. So this is just kind of in a way, it's like a 911, because I see this and I'm telling you, I get just so upset in my mind because I know what the studies say about this. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll take some of this to heart and start paying attention. Remember putting it in your phone on your body, the men putting it by their testicles, you know, in their pockets. don't do it. Put it on airplane mode if you can, and then we can all use these wonderful devices without, affecting our health, and we can stay forever young. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and I will see you on my next video.